This episode of Dead on Dave Live is brought to you by Snaplord. Go to her to get your art, or I'll punch you in the face. Let's start the show. Here's your winner.
Might be my arrogance, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for the shows and you study that.
All right. It is June 1st. Happy June 1st to everybody. We're starting it off nice and strong, starting the week off, starting the month off super strong right here on Dead on Dave Live on the Twitch. And we have a brand new co-host for our daily, at least for today. We'll see how he does and how many people he aggravates. Mostly me. I don't care if he aggravates you. I care if he aggravates me. The one, the only, the incredibly cutely irritating Film Oddities. How you doing, Tobesy?
Hi, happy gay month.
That's right. Happy gay month. It's the month of the gays. I'm very, very excited. For me personally, because I'm not gay. I don't like the dick at all. I love pussy. Yes, I do. I'm going to be extra masculine on that. I love the pussy and know how to tame it. But I have always had gay friends. Living in Las Vegas, it was always a big part of my lifestyle. Love everybody, man. I find everybody fascinating. And gay people, lesbians, transgenders, every goddamn letter in that program, institution, group, whatever we want to call it, they're interesting people. They always have fascinating stories to tell. And Tobes is definitely one of those without a shadow of a doubt. So happy gay month to you, man. Happy Pride Month to everybody who celebrates. Happy Pride Month to everybody in the community that lives an alternate lifestyle. Whether you are vocal about it, still in the closet, or whatever the case may be, know that you got a friend here at Dead on Day Productions, because everybody's gay around me. So you're good here. Tobes? Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it, gay rap. Preach to it, baby.
Love yourself. Help around your queer comrades.
Nope.
Go. But in all honesty, listen to the people who are marginalized, and be nice to the L's, the B's, the G's, the T's, especially the T's who become who genuinely become a target recently because they're more in the news and stuff like that. And never forget the filthy cues.
Filthy cute. See, I'm with Dave Chappelle 100%. It's like the T's. He has the most respect for the T's. I have the most respect for the T's. And but we both agree the story is still fucking hilarious. And like him, I can't stop making a joke about these motherfuckers. And I have multiple trannies, and yes, I still use the word because I love my trannies so fucking much. I will Joan Rivers this to the day I fucking die. I don't give a shit. You're my peoples. I'll call you what I want. If you don't like it, come fight me, punch you in the pussy. I don't give a shit. Or your artificially made pussy. Whatever. I don't care. If I need to punch your dick that you keep in your fucking drawer, I don't give a shit. See what I mean? I can't stop making jokes about these motherfuckers. It's just too funny. But I love them.
It's all outdated. So I'm sorry.
I know it's all. That's what makes it funny. That's why Dave tells those same type of jokes as well. That's what makes it funny. It's supposed to be outdated. It's supposed to be stupid. Because there's no belief in that. It really is just jokes. And I believe that about Dave Chappelle. And that's what was so tragic about his friend, the transgender person that he was talking about, that got outed, not even by him, by a magazine source, and she would ultimately kill herself. It was fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. That people had such a problem. Well, they had such a problem with Dave Chappelle's jokes that they decided to harass somebody who was 100% innocent just because she supported him. That's crazy. That's just disgusting.
It's insane. And people are like there's so much anger in the world that people just don't know where to point at.
Yeah.
And it who's worth the anger and who's worth just leaving be. Yeah. Because it's just a symptom of what's going on right now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, to me, it's just a symptom of humanity in general. We're always going to have these issues. We're always going to have these angers, whether it's by pettiness, whether it's by entitlement, whether it's by actual, genuine correctness and right. We're always going to have them. They're never going to stop. And the best thing that we can do is try to work the system or create a new system the best we can. But that's another conversation
Hell yeah.
for another day. Two McCrack, how you doing? Wild Dork, Chupioxis, Carl, Mr. Irish, all you crazy motherfuckers, how you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a good day. And remember, if you don't make these shows, don't worry, not a big deal, because as soon as we're done with all the talk, as soon as we take all your calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else you have, I go ahead and switch over to gaming, stop my recording, and then I pass the video on to my editor, Midnight Gaming. He gets it ready for YouTube, and it'll be there for your consumption. Not a big deal. And obviously, Tobes has a message about crushing cans, because it's important to do so. What the fuck?
Sorry. Wow, I didn't know my mic sensitivity goes up that bad.
Dude, is your mic sensitivity as good as your cock sensitivity? Holy fuck, man. My lord.
No, I'm circumcised.
Ain't oh really? Wow. You're not Jew. Why are you circumcised? Is this Arab thing? I didn't know. You cut off skin in Arab culture. I know that some certain things, but I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, we do. I was reaching for my what is it? It's my Haribo Happy Cola Fizz, which is like a gummy. And it's delicious. I had it very far away, so it doesn't make noise.
It sounds very sugary to me. That sounded incredibly sugary.
Yeah, and like I take some like once every day just to satisfy the crave, I guess.
I don't even know what that tastes like anymore. Like sugar. I've been so good on my diet, man. 7 weeks today. We've been doing the Huffman First Form Challenge. By the way, I got 2 likes from Chris Gronkowski today. That's right, the irrelevant brother of Rob Gronkowski, the biggest douchebag in the world, but still pretty fucking cool. I'll take it. I'm in New England, man. I'll take a Gronkowski. That's fucking street cred for me. Do you know how much fucking like blowjob eyes I'm gonna get from people when I tell them that I got a Gronk like in my tweets? Come on, that'll be fucking fantastic. But 7 weeks. I started this version of my diet with Huffman through First Form, using their products, listening to Huffman. He basically told me, basically the same plan I've always had, but Huffman really was a little bit more hands-on with this one. Very helpful. 7 weeks, started at 313. I am down today officially at 284 pounds with 1 week left. That means I got 9 pounds, and I might actually be able to hit 275, putting me within 15 pounds of that fat tub of shit Tubby C. I'm coming for you, Tubby. You better actually be 260. You said you were 260 on the air yesterday. You better fucking actually, not
him.
you, Tommy. Tubby C. I'm talking to Tubby C. He better fucking actually be 260, because if you're above that, I'm catching you within 2 months, Tubster. 2 fucking months. 2 months. I'm never going to let you live it down. Never. Never. Get on your fucking unicycle. Get on a motorcycle. Get on anything. Get on a Flintstones car. Get to moving. Don't have a heart attack, because it ain't going to be my fucking fault, but I'm going to be thinner than you, you fat fuck. There we go.
Yeah, I'm also down, David.
Oh, really? Okay. Steal my thunder if you like. Now you were
absolutely.
Tubby. Where'd you start at?
I started at 349.
And how long ago was that?
August.
August. 349 in August. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You were heavier than I was, and I don't think anybody knew that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking
I kept it to myself.
That's probably smart. That to me is really funny. A gay man keeping his weight out of the fat. I'm staying in the closet as a fat man, but I suck dick. I don't care if it'll get me thrown off a building, but I won't tell you I'm fatter than Dave. Oh, I love you. I fucking love you.
David, you don't even know. It was a struggle. Oh my god! And I only started saying anything like I was 350 when I basically started going on my diet. You know, like I didn't weigh myself for 3 months before I went on my diet, and I was like, in utter shock. Right. Would be the best word to describe it.
I bet.
And it was I was at 249, and now I am at 229.
Wow. Down to 229. Yeah. I may not catch you. Oh, shit. I'm going to catch Tubby C, and apparently I caught Pyoxis, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch you. I think I'm probably going to rest at about 230. I
You
think.
can do 120 pounds.
Oh, I can, and I have. Remember, 2013, I was 525, man. You know, like
My
my
God,
weight
yeah.
loss cred is set in stone. I feel good about what I've done, but I know because of the limited things that I can do physically and how little I can exercise and shit. I have to. I'm always going to be easily gaining weight again. So I think for a comfortable
Mhm.
life, and it's always been a good weight for me anyway. 220, 225. I think is probably where I'm gonna end up plateauing, just staying at, and hopefully, So we'll see.
Hell yeah.
But I'm feeling good, man. I'm really eating better than I ever have. And in the past, what I've done is I've relied on protein shakes. I've relied on quick meals and things that were really easy. Now I'm kind of going the other way with I'm eating a lot of natural foods, which sounds way hippier than I want it to.
Mm,
But
dude.
I'm getting salmon. I'm getting like farmed salmon or some still fresh wild caught salmon, but not as much. Because yeah, sometimes we need to think about sustainability. But
Respect it.
whatever, shut up. Don't be fucking gay about it. So so I'm picking up these things. I'm picking up vegetables and stuff, and I'm making some real banging ass food, man. I'm eating a lot of real slow roasted chicken, low degree slow roasted chicken, breast and stuff like that. I'm making really cool vegetable medleys, onions with what's that fucking thing called? Butternut squash. I'm
Oh,
just
dear
doing all
God.
kinds of shit. I'm loving it, man, and I feel good. I'm sleeping better. Look, my pain's never gonna go away. My nerve damage is not affected by this at all. This is like the third time I've lost this amount of weight and got back into the 280s and such. It doesn't matter if I feel the exact same amount of pain at 280s and I did it at 550, which sucks, but everything else is better. My quality of life is better. And that's what I want to ask you about real quick because my knees don't hurt as bad. My lung,
Oh,
like
yeah.
sleeping is so much easier when you don't have 25 more pounds on your chest. How is it affected you going from 340 to 240, and or 220,
Well, no, yeah.
yeah, is in the time that you have in less than a year. That is a crazy amount of weight. It really is. So what's the difference now? How different do you actually feel?
Well, I first noticed that I had a problem. Really, it was when I start walking and I sweat like I just like fucking like I went into a shower and just got out without
Right.
like drying off. It was that bad. There was also like very bad sharp pains in my lower back.
Yeah.
Fucking like I would breathe like a fucking air conditioning in the Mojave Desert. Like it was it was nonstop. Like not to mention like the difficulty of masturbation.
Oh yeah, I just switched hands because of my masturbation. I actually because I was trapped on my right for so long. When I started masturbating again, I couldn't reach around my fat stomach with my right arm, so I had to start becoming a fucking lefty. It was the weirdest thing I've ever done, but now I'm good at it. It's like, oh, who do we want,
Jesus.
Angela or Monica tonight? Let's fucking switch it up. We're here.
I love that you named them. And
I
shit.
name everything that I fuck. Are you out of your mind? I named both of my goddamn sex toys that I had back in the day, Annika and Monica. Shout out, bitches. The fucking fantastic. Love those hoes. But it's funny you said at the sweating at 340.
Oh,
You
boy.
sweat like that while you're walking at 340. But let me tell you something, man. In the 400s and 500s, when you just talk too loudly, you start sweating like that. All right? Because that was my existence. It's like, I'm really mad. Oh, why am I sweating? I'm just talking. I'm sitting here talking to you at a loud voice, and I'm sweating. That's awful. That's really bad. So I feel
Yeah, I was always fucking sleepy, like slothy, and now it's different. I'm springy. I go for jogs. I wake up really well. I sleep really well
Yeah.
and shit. Like it's been good. It's been transformative. I lost 12 waist sizes.
Oh,
Yeah,
buy all new clothes.
and yeah, I do, but it's the pandemic. Oof.
Right, yeah, I know.
And I went from 4X's down to 1X now.
Oh wow, that's incredible, man. That's
Mhm.
incredible. That's really good. It's a good journey to be on. And the funny thing is, we've done it different ways because I'm not able to really do much. So the most I can do is walk. And now I've got this little
Mhm.
yoga thing that I do, yoga size I call it. It's like jazzercise, but with some yoga, DDP yoga moves mixed in, and I just kill my calves. So the one thing I have killer legs. Like if I showed you my legs, you guys would never be
I've
able to.
seen them.
You haven't seen them recently. Like you can't
Oh.
match you would never be able to match my legs to my body
It's
ever.
it's all the fucking it's all the exercise they get from lifting us up.
Right? No, it is.
It was
It's
just
true.
that.
Because you're
It's the
carrying this.
support of 300 fucking pounds.
Right, it's carrying this big fat tub of load everywhere, and it's just. But this goes beyond that. Like my legs are like cut and defined like they were when I was 15, 16 again. It's really crazy to see how well my legs have maintained its strength and power and all this shit. And so I'm just using that, and that's what I do. I do this. I basically simulate a bike ride, but I do it on my toes. And I studied some ergonomics to make sure I'm not fucking up my arches or anything. It's a really cool little system I'm doing, and it's helping a lot. So I do that, and I walk, and everything else is diet. Everything else is it's 95% diet for me. So it feels like it's the opposite
because
for you.
well, yeah, I'm struggling to digest certain foods now,
Right.
which is a problem. Like fat, I can't do fat anymore. If I eat something that's very fatty, very greasy, my body just instantly rejects it.
Yeah, and mine too. And I get
Yeah.
bad shits as well.
Mhm.
Bad shits.
And it's like right now, I just try to eat as healthy as possible, reduced fat stuff. But I also like have as a notorious soft spot for Ben and Jerry's American Dream.
He also has a soft spot for fucking meaty twinks, meaty cock twinks. He loves those meaty cock
Yes,
twinks.
but you know the calories of those are really
Not with the ingestion in Franklin.
Exactly.
No, fine. Let me get
Which,
some love
you
in the
know
chat
what?
real quick. Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Fox, oof, I feel that I started shifting things when I got too tired, like deflated balloon when walking a few minutes in a store. Lost even 5 pounds, and I feel the difference. Oh, absolutely. Jody, how you doing, Jody Marie? Congrats on the weight loss, guys. It's so easy to put that on, but so hard to lose. I've lost 100 pounds now. That's awesome. Congratulations on your weight loss. Aaron,
Oh, yeah.
5. That's what I'm talking about. Pyoxis, holy shit. Congrats, Jody's. If only I can lose it that fast. Yeah, it's hard. You got to keep going, man. You just got to keep on grinding through it. I want to go to a topic of actual. We've been talking about ourselves for 17 minutes, so I want to move to a little bit of a topic. One that you have no interest in, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh boy.
I know. Huh? You want to talk about some human cockfighting in the MMA world?
Me personally,
I know you
no.
do. Sure you do. How can you not? This is actually a pretty fascinating story. Let me regale you with the story of John Jones. Do you know who he is?
No idea.
Johnny Bones Jones. Okay. He arguably, and he's not like Conor McGregor. You could really make the argument that John Jones is the greatest MMA fighter in the history of the game. Like legitimate. His credentials are that good. Longest winning streak, multiple divisions he's won titles in. He's only lost once, and that was by a disqualification that was very, very hotly contested back in the day, like 2009. A finger poke to Ryan Bader, I believe, and Bader got the victory that he probably shouldn't have got. Other than that, John Jones has been absolutely perfect in the ring. Now, what makes John Jones extra interesting is how catastrophically fucking stupid he is outside of the octagon, because he's a New Mexico Albuquerque kid who got a lot of fame and money very quickly. So you name it, he's been in trouble for it. Hit and runs, cocaine addiction, rehabs. He's had titles, basically. And I think they've had a couple of interim champions because of his tomfuckery. He's been caught on steroids multiple occasions. This dude,
God.
yeah, he's a trash bag. He's a fucking trash bag human for the most part. So right now, UFC is becoming more important than ever before to people who want sports, because they're putting on shows, and they're not just putting on shows; they're putting on a lot of shows, and they're going up to buying a fucking island to keep the shows going. I'm dead serious. They bought an island.
I know.
They rented the island, and they built hotels. They built everything to house this and make this work. It's a pretty smart idea, and I think professional sports, as a general, should look into this option if they want to go forward. Right now, at the very least. But I digress. So they're heavy, and all big things are happening in almost every division. The heavyweight division's really up in the air with what they have going on there. John Jones has kind of cleaned out the light heavyweight division, and he's always threatened to go to heavyweight. And you have all the other guys who are just putting up these banger fights, and more money is coming up. People are making more money in UFC than ever before. Conor McGregor went to boxing, fought Floyd Mayweather, made like $100 million for a fucking exhibition fight, essentially. So Jones wants money. And there is a guy, Francis Negrano, that I always call him. I know it's not how you pronounce his name. I'm going to get beaten up for that. But he is an absolute monster. He is a gigantic Nubian god who just punches people's fucking faces off, Tobes. I'm dead serious.
What's a Nubian?
What's a Nubian? Silly bitch almost made me fucking laugh. I didn't know you were going to scream Black Rage.
I feel like it's appropriate for this.
It's so fucking. By the way, if you haven't seen Chasing Amy, slap yourself and go watch it. Fantastic movie. So this guy just beats the fuck out of people. He's terrifying. He's at heavyweight. He's scary. People duck this guy. So John Jones, who wants to go to heavyweight, let's make the super fight. And they started teasing it on social media. And then the UFC was going to put it together, and then John Jones decided to walk in and say, allegedly, according to Dana White, who's also a fucking notorious liar and piece of shit human being himself, he says that John Jones asked for $30 million for this fight. Thank you, Pyoxis, for the host. I appreciate you, buddy. $30 million. 30. That's a lot of schmeckles. And John said that's not true, but then he publicly asked for 15. So I'm going to believe Dana. And Dana has publicly stated he's not worth it. The fact of the matter is, if you look at the numbers and you look at the draws, there's no way we could pay him $30 million to fight anybody, let alone Francis. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And he says that he sat John Jones down and he explained this to him and showed him the demographics and all this. And allegedly, again, we have to believe Dana here, and John has said he didn't say this. He said, fuck the numbers. I don't care what the numbers say. I want what I want, which sounds like John Jones. If I'm being honest, that sounds like it would have came directly from his fucking mouth. So again, it's hard for me to distrust the usually very distrustable Dana White. That's the great thing about dealing with two pieces of shit, Tobes. You can just fuck on them both because they're both awful. So they start going back and forth in social media, Tobes. They start taking shots at each other. He's like, I don't need the UFC saying, ruining my name. And Dana White came back, clapped back in an interview and said, dude, bitch, you do enough dishonoring of your own name and than we could ever do. Get the fuck out of here with that noise. That's crazy. And now John has said, fuck it. Release me then. Fuck you. Release me. Let's see how much money I can go make. Boxing, I guarantee I'll make $100 million in my first boxing match. Which, no, he won't. He will not. Boxing will be less tolerable of some of the things that he's been accused of in the past, especially because he can't stay clean. So he's really overvaluing himself. But this goes even further, Tobes. He then, after Dana White says, look, we have him under contract. He could sit the rest of the contract or he can fight tomorrow. I don't care. That's how Dana rolls. And he really believes that. And he doesn't give a fuck. And John's like, you called me the greatest fighter in the history and all this stuff, and yet you don't want to pay me. You don't want to pay me. Fuck it. I relinquish the light heavyweight championship, and I quit. And that's where we're at now. It's one of the crazy. It's all happened in social media. It's all been public. And now, to add an extra nuance, John Jones last night, and we're going to touch on a little bit of the riot situation with this a little bit because this is interesting. He filmed himself going about the streets of Albuquerque, and John Jones is like 6'5". He's like six. He's huge. He's a gigantic human being. And he's fast and strong. He really legitimately is one of the greatest mixed martial artists to ever live. He's that good. And he's showing these videos of him going on the streets and just punking out all these, I'm going to assume, please don't take this the wrong way, Tobies, but they look like prototypical Antifa members. and he just punks them out and takes their spray cans and all kinds of shit from them. And it's a good guy John Jones message, but it's like, who films this? Who does this? You know, it's like, come on, John. So this whole thing is very interesting to me, and I know that this is the least gay thing that you could ever fucking think of in your whole little world, but still, with this type of public social media fighting and money, and this time that we're having with riots and fucking coronavirus and the undoubted second wave of corona that's about to hit from all these public gatherings, do you feel this is the fucking time or place to be for millionaires to be fighting with other millionaires, borderline billionaires, over this type of situation? Or do they have a right to still demand what they demand? What do you think?
In my humble socialist opinion, I mean, what we're seeing is just it's just the millionaires, the millionaire and billionaire class, as they have always been in times of crisis or in times of like just peace. And like it's just that it's just a lot of you know you owe me exactly, it's selfishness. And then one guy, it was John Jones, he went out, going out and doing that, I feel like is a way just to boost his profile a bit more.
It was the same day that he did this shit with Dana White. I mean, like, he didn't even wait a day.
It's disgraceful. It takes advantage of the situation and stuff like that. It's gross. Right. It's gross. And
John Jones is a very black man.
It's
himself,
capitalism.
I want to make that clear too. John Jones.
I know. I googled him.
Oh, okay. And so I feel that's very exploitive of him to do to his own situation, to his own people's situations. You know, at least that's what the message is, right? So it makes no sense to me. And
class.
Class human being, I agree. But to me, it gets even worse. We're seeing all around the world, sports leagues are starting up again. Korean baseball has been around for 2 months. They've done a really good job. And ESPN,
Taiwanese.
Yet the Taiwan League has been back as well. There's been many baseball
German
leagues that have
football.
come back. German football. We've seen a lot of soccer. Now we're seeing even more. Mexico's about to get their stuff going. Bundesliga's back in Germany. All kinds of shit. It's been really good. The major sports leagues in America, they're a little bit slower because most of them were in the middle of a season or, with baseball not started yet. So they've been planning. Now, basketball seems to have it locked in. Hockey seems to have it locked in. Football is not worried about it yet because their season is still fairly far away. So they're like hoping everything's going to be okay for them. So they have a plan, but they're not having to openly fight the plan. Baseball is dropping the ball, no pun intended, in a very disgraceful way. It's even worse than what we just talked about with Jones and Dana. And I thought that this would actually interest you, and I'm glad that it seems to because I knew it would speak to your socialist little heart.
Yes.
But so baseball, it's even worse in baseball terms. So the players are basically telling the owners, fuck you, we're not playing for less money. This is bullshit. We're not going to do it. We're not going to listen to these rules of no spitting. They're just being brats. They're being disgraceful, disgusting
Absolutely.
brats. And baseball has already been struggling, Tobes. Baseball has been struggling for the last couple of years with the length of their game. The safety has been in the news every year. People have died at ballparks, and they have not done a good job of reacting to that. This is the last thing that baseball needs to do. And in my opinion, and you're going to love this from me, I know you will.
Oh, boy.
I think
Give me
all
that.
athletes should be taking this approach. You have made, especially if you've been in the league for a while and you've made a lot of money, if you have this LeBron James of the world, I'm talking about, in each respective sport, you have all these guys who have this money. Cover the fucking young guys that are going to be in the league. Cover their salaries. Play this season for free. Do it tournament fucking style in every goddamn sport. Do this for the people. You have been fucking granted a life of luxury and admiration. Some of you are walking gods, of which the likes of Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth, Andre the Giant, Muhammad Ali. Some of you are close to that stature. This is your opportunity to respect that and show the fucking world that this really is about everybody and not about yourself. And some athletes are, and some athletes aren't. And the ones that aren't, you're going to be fucking buried for it because the world is not going to listen to your fucking petty squabbling with billionaires much longer. Plain and simple. What do you think of that, Mr. Socialist?
Comrade David, thank you for joining us.
No, you got to make money later. See, that's the thing. This is the best part. You do the good guy thing, and then you jack up all the prices next year, Tobes. That's what we do here. You see, this is the keep the game going so we can make more money off all of us fans later on. See, one hand washes the other, buddy. Everybody gets what they want, and everybody gets taken care of, and that's called compromise.
No.
Fuck you! How can you
were
say
right.
no?
The first part you were
You're
on
the
the money
worst.
at the first
You're
part.
the
but,
fucking
yeah.
worst.
I mean, all athletes are overpaid except for the ones that don't get paid at all.
Well, I'm not going to get on that. Overpaid is not. I don't think that's right because the money that the sports generate dictate what the athletes make. I think it's very. You might think that sports shouldn't be generating this much money, but that's an idealistic fucking comment. People love sports. They're going to pay for it. They're going to consume it en masse. And if that's how much money is out there, hell, if anything, by the numbers, athletes are underpaid. You know what I mean? It's like some of these sports organizations, they're making billions of dollars a year. It's a crazy thing. So I get what you're saying in essence as far as them being overpaid because, I mean, teachers and police need to be taken care of so they don't have to, so they don't have to decide to not put more time into what they do in their craft to be better teachers, police, doctors, etc. No, they have to worry about making ends meet. I get that argument, and you're 100% right. We need to get there. But sports could bridge that gap as well. This is the time that athletes and these people who've made this much money could really come out and show their actual altruism roots that they say that they have.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
And Heyoka's right. You only have a short window to monetize your skill set. You're not wrong there, and you have to pay for all the damages to your body, not to mention the fact that you may physically be capable after. No, there's all that to consider, and I get that. I'm saying is that, to me, is not a great argument when we're facing the problems as a world, not just as a nation, that we're now facing. The coronavirus pandemic, whether you feel it's overblown or not, the numbers, I guess you could say that they're fucking fabricated, and we know in some ways they are, but not in the way
conservative.
That you're saying. Right, exactly.
They're just conservative, yeah.
So I guess we're going to find out, though. And, America really decided to push this and see. We're going to find out because if nothing happens, if numbers don't go back up in the next month, I think a lot of people are going to relax. But all these protests, you got to figure the numbers are about to skyrocket. You have to.
Yeah. Next week we'll know for certain. Or in the next few days, honestly.
Not even. It takes up to 2 weeks for the coronavirus to maybe never show any symptoms. So unless everybody goes and gets tested.
Yeah, that's a big thing, but there aren't enough tests in America right now.
They're getting more and more. They're actually
but
they're almost caught up.
Really?
Free testing has already started.
That's good.
Free testing has started in my area, Tobes.
So, that's good.
The numbers have changed and have gotten really good now, and we can actually kind of thank athletics for this. Believe it or not, I read a few articles on this. It's really interesting. The need for athletics coming back has kind of driven a lot of manufacturers of the tests, because there's more than one now, to just expedite. And they put their foot on the gas. So Connecticut had a conservative hope for 100,000 new tests a week. It turns out they're now producing 250,000 new tests a week. So that's incredible. It's really that's just one state. That's just one state. So pretty cool.
But the symptoms. But like you notice a spike within 3 days, like when Wisconsin. Wisconsin had their Democratic primary, I think.
Oh, I know.
And other elections as well. And it spiked within the next 3 to 4 days. So we might even get news later today or maybe even tomorrow.
But you got to remember, there are still people who are completely asymptomatic through coronavirus as well. And that's what makes the virus, that's what makes it dangerous, is the fact that it takes anywhere. The gestation period is between 3 and 14 days. You could show symptoms anywhere in that period, 3 to 14 days. Or you may never show if you're asymptomatic. So testing is so important, and that's why places like Connecticut, a little bit of a richer state, has been able to offer the free testing already. I haven't done it. I'm going to probably do it on Monday. I'm letting some of the lines kind of die down on it because I want to know. I want to know, so I'm going to do it. But it's pretty cool to see it happen the way that it has, and we'll see. We'll see. People have got to go get the test. Is my point. Like we
Yeah.
won't know the numbers until more.
My
testing is
sister
done.
didn't.
We'll see.
It pisses me off. My sister didn't. She got. Our system is basically the government sends you a text message, and it'll give you a time to go and get tested.
Yeah.
And you go, you do it in your car, and she was too afraid.
Really?
I'm like,
did you go?
Yeah. No, it's just an individual
Oh,
one.
so you haven't
like-
gotten your message yet?
No, I haven't gotten my message.
Oh, that's so scary.
Plus,
That's so creepy.
yeah, and in some cases, like only one person in a family would get that message until more tests come in.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's still freaky though. It's like number 7,323. It is time for you to come get your test now. Please walk to the light. Fuck you. I've seen shit and fall out about this. You're about to stick a fucking spike through my dick hole. Fuck off. No way.
No, actually through your nose.
Yeah, many did. They'll stick a spike.
Like
right
literally
up front.
throw
They
your-
will. It's no good, right? Lobotomy! Especially, oh God, make sure you don't wear any pink that day. Holy fuck.
Oh boy.
I don't take you as a
Yeah.
pink guy anyway. You don't wear a lot of pink, do you?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't see you as a pink guy. Because you got a
I like-
marvelous beard, and it's hard to match a beard with pink. Hi, Terry.
No, sometimes pink accessories really work well.
Fucking pink bow ties, I'm sure. Jesus Christ.
Fucking like a pink watch ish, like a strap for your like smartwatch. That's really cool, and it goes on, and it goes well with a lot of things.
On the next
so-
Bet on Dave Live, Tobes tells you how to accessorize your daily life with the color pink. Feel better or feel like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. Find out next time on Bet on Dave Live. You guys want to jump in to wait in the call, feel free. Tobes and I have yammered for a good 36 minutes. I'm ready to take some calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, or whatever else you might have. If not, we'll see what Tobes might have else to talk about, and then we'll get rid of him, and we'll get into some gaming. Red hot gaming action, baby.
Gaming.
But
I
it's
usually-
spelled G-A-Y-M-I-N.
You know, in honor, in honor of Pride Month, there is a certain story that I've shared once before that I am willing to share today.
I'm fucking down. I'm fucking down. So you guys get in the waiting to call, and Papa Tobes is about to regale us with a story of epic gayness, I'm guessing.
Let me close the door.
Oh, yes. This is going to be good. Gay barrier engage. Oh, this is great. He's stuffing socks under the door right now. He's fucking lining towels all over and shit. Soundproofing. He's so amazing. This is going to be great. I'm very excited for this.
Okay.
Regale us, Papa. Regale us.
All right. So this happened when I was 18 years of age. This story involves me being horny. It involves a disappointing sexual experience and an outside tent.
And then a lady walks in with a salami under one arm and a fucking wiener dog under the other. Go ahead.
So, I was 18. I got on Grindr, and
The
today
worst
was
name
special.
for a gay website, by the way. I'm sorry. Grinder's fucking terrible. Please continue. Grinder. Grind him, it
And
should be
so-
called, if anything. Jesus Christ. Come on,
And so
grind him is
I
good.
t-
Grind him is good, Tobes. Continue.
Still, Grindr is fine.
Grind him's more appropriate. Get it? Grind him because you're gay. Because you grind him. You don't grind her. You grind him. Ow.
I see smoke on screen.
Yeah, no, don't. It's,
Yeah.
it's an optical illusion. Don't worry. That's
right.
it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
It's vapor. Shut up, Tobes. This is going to YouTube. Midnight. Cut that. Cut it.
All right, so I was feeling some type of way that night. A type of way that would only come by when I have not been touched for a while. And that's when the bottom in me comes out.
So like the Veronicas, you felt so untouched right then? Okay.
Yes. And the bottom in me came out, and he came out strong. And so I went in, I showered, and I got on Grindr just to make sure, the maintenance has been done. And I go on and I say, and I change my username from something generic to something very suggestive.
What was it? You got to tell me. I need to know.
Literally in Arabic, I wrote, "I want to suck your dick." And so
it's the equivalent of changing your name to Cum Dumpster. That's great. All right.
Because I turn it on. And what happens with Grindr is you show up online, and people send you your messages.
Right.
So I turn it on. I leave the app. I go and I trim up the beard a little, and I get back to 7 different messages.
That's a lot.
Ooh boy, what a disappointment! Most of them were.
Oh no.
So people were not really my type, and. And to say that I was grossed out by some would be an understatement.
So a bunch of fatties got back to you wanting their dick sucked. Okay.
Fatties, 40 plus olds, like
I was just like, I was dick.
Yeah, I was an 18-year-old kid. All right.
I love that. A bunch of fat old Arabic people want to fucking have an 18-year-old suck their cock. This makes me very happy.
And so, people even offered for him to pay me and shit like that, which I've never known that. I've never known that type of desire,
Fucking, that's some desire. He's feeling like Queen fucking Elizabeth there. Holy, not that she fucking sold her pussy for. I don't know why that made you. Fuck off. You're a queen. Go ahead. Queen Elizabeth sold her snatch on the corner, giving away the minge today. And I'll execute you in the morning. What the fuck?
Oh my god! And so
Good Lord.
I then get this notification from this guy who seemed really nice, and from the picture, oh boy, he looked tall.
All right.
He looked tall and hot, and I wanted to be dominated that night. Just like fucking pushed in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know.
And it was. I'm telling you, it's that type of horny.
Nice. I love that type of horny.
And so I get back to him, and I send him, and he sends me pictures, and I send him pictures and stuff like that, and so it goes on. It goes, hey, hello, schlong. And so
that's the unreleased edition of Adele's song. Hello, schlong. Jesus Christ. That's a greeting.
Exactly. It's basically that, and so I slowly fall in love.
Uh-oh.
And
no, there's nothing slow about this.
Again,
loving
David,
Y'all.
it was that type of horny.
Gotcha, Roger. I got you.
Yes. And so he looked tall, he looked built, and I was ready. And so I sent him the location of the nearest convenience store, because I am not sending my house location to random people. And I asked,
you gotta tell the story to Kevin Smith. He'll respect that. You gotta send him like a DM or something, dude. This is a fucking amazing story. This is incredible.
And so I basically, like, I get dressed. I dress really nice, and I was under the assumption that he had a place for his own. I'm like, okay. So I get dressed. I leave, and I stand by the convenience store, and I wait. And I wasn't expecting him to roll up in a 1997 Ford Fiesta.
You got catfish, baby! Yeah.
I wasn't catfish though. It was him. All right.
Yeah, he misled you on everything else.
We'll get to that. Now,
I love it.
now I walked in. He said, "Oh, you're big," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
And you're
And I
obviously
start,
poor. We're
yeah.
even. Let's fuck.
And no, it was like he wasn't like turned off. He was just surprised. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
And then I got in the car, and I didn't notice anything.
Oh no.
And we drive along, and we get to his house.
What was he
And his
living in,
house
baby?
is.
What was he living in?
Hold on a minute. His house is located right near a mosque, and that's where he parked the car. And that was a sign from Allah at this point.
Oh no.
And-
And he's stupid. No. Oh no.
And that was a sign from Allah. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. So I get out. I get out, and I make sure like my clothes are straight, and I turn around and I look across to his place.
Yeah.
Very nice place.
Oh.
Bit old, but very nice, you know.
Right.
It obviously lives with his family. I thought there was like going to be a room or a sub basement or something, you know. But as I was looking, I didn't realize he was standing right in front of me.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I felt awful because it was this tiny person, someone I'd reserved to like top.
No.
But I'm like, oh, you're small.
No.
And I'm like,
You didn't see how big he was in the car. Oh,
no, yeah, because he was sitting and shit like that. And I'm like, and the pictures made him look like he was tall because you're standing next to an even shorter person, you know?
Hey, Core Master, take a look at that shit. There you go. Twitch can't ban me for what they can't see on green screen. Guess what that is? Do 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 do. Look, you can still see the ganja bowl. That's amazing. Ooh-ah. Trust me, there's no exposure of being a fucking rotten pothead that I am. But it's medicinal, baby. Good to see you, Core Master. We're talking about Tobes. Apparently, I hope we're talking about Tobes having sex with a dwarf. That's what I'm hoping. This ends
It wasn't
with
a
Tobes.
dwarf.
Hey,
No,
okay,
it's even worse.
Fun-sized person. Sorry.
It is even worse.
Oh my God,
man.
yes.
All right. But no, he was a regular sized person, just on the shorter side, and I bumped into him, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Come, let's go somewhere, and you can fuck me, little boy."
Oh no!
And
No!
it was my thought process, you know.
Okay, and you're still down. It's like fucking God's telling you you're gonna get fucking thrown off a roof if you do this. You just fucking saw a guy who's barely standing at dick sucking height, and you're still like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I have got to get this shit going. I love the dick wetness of this. This is amazing. Keep going, thirsty boy.
And so I'm like, you know, he's a short guy. He's like slimly built, but like I'm okay with that. It's fine, you know. It's not, as long as he's good as what he does. So I walk in. We walk in from like the back of the house, and that's when I'm like, oh, there's a back door. And he says, no, we're going in the tent.
Oh, oh, here's the tent. I forgot about the tent. Oh my God, I forgot about the fucking tent. Oh shit, yes, the tent.
Dear Lord. Okay, so this was like a
Not
nomadic
a gay tent.
No. This isn't even a gay tent. This is like a family tent.
Oh,
all right.
no.
So there's a fucking so I walk in, and I look around for a light switch or something. And he just fucking pushes me away from the wall because he's like, no. It should be dark. Please don't make noise and shit like that. I'm like, all right, okay, calm down. Like we're not gonna turn on the lights if that
like,
makes
you don't
comfortable.
understand how close you are from dying right now.
Oh my!
Be careful.
Jesus Christ! It was so frightening, but still needed to get the energy out.
Gotta get that fucking baby batter fucking thrown against
and
the
so
wall. I feel you.
and so yeah, and so it's completely dark, and I walk 3 steps forward, and I fucking trip on a tricycle. It's dark. It's a family tent. I didn't realize it was that bad.
God.
And so I get sick of it. And so
There's
I
kids
pulled out my
around,
phone.
Tobes. You can't fuck a man in the ass when there's
It's
kids around.
There
matter
aren't
with
any
you?
kids around. Oh my
There was
God.
kid evidence around. What are you talking about? Yeah, who was riding the tricycle? The midget? I don't fucking think so. Have you seen a midget ride a fucking tricycle? It's goddamn impossible, Tobes. What are you talking about?
know,
There's some kids. You
I
can't
know.
butt fuck with kids around. What's the matter with you?
And oh my God. Jesus. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my phone. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight just to see where I'm going.
Your
all right?
flashlight? You're gonna turn on your flashlight?
Your
Oh,
flashlight. My
flashlight.
flashlight.
Sorry,
You high
sorry.
motherfucker.
I just assumed. I'm sorry. My bad.
And so I fucking look at it, and I'm like, I'm looking at my phone, and I go to turn on the flashlight. Fuck, you got me saying flashlight now. And I fucking and I go to turn on the flashlight, and he throws a hissy fit. Like, no, don't turn on the flashlight.
Why would you turn on the
And
light?
so-
What's the matter with you? Lights aren't okay.
Yeah.
Fucking sounds aren't okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? You're trying to get you both killed.
Yeah, and he's always fucking whispering. And it's
There's
like,
a
all right.
mouse
And so-
within 30 feet. Of course he's with. What do you think at this
I know,
point?
but why would you fucking gamble and fucking the family tent?
Why are
Right
you
near the
there?
mosque?
You're there.
Because I'm horny.
You made the
And so-
exact same wrong
and so-
decision.
I don't listen. All right, I'll explain myself in a second. All right. So I decide. All right, I'm just gonna use like my wallpaper to illuminate where my surrounding. And so we get on this like floor level couch, which is like traditional in where I live. And so I sit down, and he sits down, and I came in for a kiss. You know, because it's the thing to do. And he goes, "No, I don't kiss."
Oh shit!
What's the point of this?
This is starting to reek of professionalism, if you know what I'm saying. He can't quote Pretty Woman, man. He can't quote Pretty Woman. This is not right. This is not right.
You know, and I was just like, and I look at him, and I was like, I should say something, but he's my car ride back home. And this is why I did. Yeah, and I really didn't want, you know, I did it. This is why I didn't say anything when it came to the flashlight. This is why I didn't say anything when it came to the noise.
Right.
And so I was like down and just like, you know what, fuck it. Let's get down to business.
Let's do this.
And so we both unsheath the swords.
Unleash the Kraken. That's right.
And so I go in, and I was like, you know, it's time. I was like two minutes in.
Like fucking Bruce Buffer.
Yeah. And I was
It's
like,
time. And that is the fucking the art of the callback there, because we got back to UFC. Bam.
and I go in, and two seconds later, and he's like, "All right, get on your knees." I'm like,
You're
"Oh, yes."
closer.
And I'm like, yeah, and like, get on your knees. It's you know, it's time to satisfy mama's needs, you know. And so I did, but he was too short.
Oh, no.
And so by the time that I had like his like crotch and my butt had significant contact in which he could like plausibly enter, I was doing the splits as a 270-pound man.
Oh my God.
And that was bad. But again, couldn't say anything.
No, here's your ride. He not only was he deep
Because he
inside
was
of
my
your-
ride back home.
Not only was he deep inside of your asshole, he was your only way of getting out of the
Hold
place where you
on.
might die.
Don't get ahead of it, Dave.
Oh my God.
All right.
Get ahead of it. It sounds like you already did. Hi-yo!
And so I sit down. I do, you know, the splits. I feel my all my regions on fire. But guess what? But like, you know, I guess this is time. It's time. It's gonna get rough, and then we can switch up the positions and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
This motherfucker.
He pulled a 68. He pulled a 68. He did. Go ahead. Continue.
It's a 68.
You do me. I owe you one later. Yeah, he did a 68.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. This motherfucker had the audacity to let me get all dolled up, let me walk to the nearest convenience store as a 270-pound man, may I remind you, at the time.
Right.
Okay, I was still heavy, and I was a bit shorter than what I was today. So it showed, and it was hard work. And I cleaned myself up, and I showered, and I douched. I fucking douched, David. I douched, and then I come in.
Motherfucker's to douche up his asshole.
Hold on.
I can't fucking deal right now.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Keep going.
This motherfucker, as I was walking, at all that blood, sweat, and tears going around in my penis, and I do the fucking splits for this motherfucker, and I couldn't say anything because, again, what is he, Dave? What is he, Dave?
An asshole?
No,
he's a ride home. He's the fucking He's your Uber. He's your goddamn Uber at this point.
He's my ride home.
Oh my god.
So you can imagine my shock, my surprise, when I turn around to ask him if he has any lube, and he says, "Oh no, I'm not gonna insert it. I'm just gonna rub around it."
No. No. He's
That
gonna he's gonna edge your asshole, and that's it after all of
It's
that?
not even and we didn't even get to the fucking worst part, okay?
No.
All right. And so I let him do it. And he did stupid gyrating motions to keep his penis in contact with my ass. I'm like, all right, okay, this is getting like
Hold on.
tiring.
I'm going to visually demonstrate this on Gizmo. All right, here we go. Keep going.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, ow. But not the good type. It's just like the rug burn I'm getting from doing the splits on the tent floor while he was fucking gyrating. And I'm like, oh my god, all right. And then he's like, all right, lay on your back. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it took me 90 seconds to actually like uncoil whatever the fuck position I was in. And I ended up in the fetal position for about 90 seconds just to ensure that my shit was like not hurt. Like I didn't significantly dislocate anything and shit like that. And I was fine. But he also then had the audacity, David, he had the audacity to masturbate on my thigh. And I'm like, you hurt me. You don't get to do that. But again, couldn't say anything.
Why? He's the ride home.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so a few minutes I roll on my back from the fetal position. And I go on and I'm like, all right, let's do whatever you want to do. I'm exhausted. And
Wolfie, it's Dr. Manhattan's penis. Don't worry about it. Continue, Tobes.
And I'm on my back. And it's dark. You have to remember, this is done in complete fucking darkness. I can't see outside. I can't see inside. I can't see him. I can't see anything. And another thing, his dick was so tiny compared to what he fucking showed me.
Wait, again. Start that again. Say that line again.
His dick was so fucking tiny
How
compared to what he showed me.
How tiny was it? No, goddamn it! Come on, man. You're an old-timey TV guy. You should know better than this.
Oh shit! Yes.
Say it again,
and his dick was so tiny.
How tiny was it?
It had. Oh my god! He'd probably be the only man with penis envy.
Good attempt. All right, okay, there you go. Not so bad. That'll work. That gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's not so sad.
And so I'm on my back. I'm exhausted. I'm breathing heavily because of like the carpet burning on the insides of my thighs. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, do whatever you want for me. And then all I see is all I feel is like bit of pubic hair grazing my nose, and then a dick ramming straight through my mouth. And I'm like, and I couldn't, I was so like physically tired, and because it was the desert, and it was hot that night. Like, he's sweaty, so the more I pushed him away, the more my hand slipped. Right? Okay. So I'm like, and I remember, we're outside in a dimly lit, in a dark tent, right? And all I feel is like that sort of noise. And I'm trying, at this point, I just give in.
Oh,
I just give in, because even like a little fucking part of me is still having fun to a certain point, you know. It's
oh my God.
and so I sit there and take it, and then this motherfucker, within a minute, not even a minute, less than a minute. That motherfucker, in less than a minute, made me do something I've done for one special person before. It was my special thing I leave for my loved ones, for my boyfriends in any relationship.
And it's the same thing I'm about to do with this fucking water right now.
Exactly! And I go on, and then within a minute, it comes right in my mouth. And it's with such a visceral force and with a great volume that I almost drowned in it, because of like how I'm like, and I couldn't push him off, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? So as I said, I couldn't even do that. I didn't even do that, because you know what? The minute he came, he pushed the fuck in. He pushed it in like he was fracking for oil. Like it was like he just hit that fucking Jello gold. It's that bad. And now, and it was so bad, and I was like, oh my God, and shit like that. And I'm like, and I was trying to push him off, but again, didn't have the energy. And the fucking sweat was making him slip, and he was a bit smoother than I am. So yeah, no, not a lot of fucking friction to go on. All right, and
Mr. Park, thank you so much.
and then he goes, and then he moves out, like he moves off me, and I'm like, oh my God. What the? And then I hold myself, because why, Dave? Why do I hold myself?
Because he's your Uber. Oh my God.
And I hold off, and then I'm like, all right, it's my time now. it's you know, it's
that
time
was
for me.
Supremes.
I don't.
Now it's time for Diana Ross.
Just sit there. Let me like fill you up a bit and let me finish. I was like, oh no, don't finish. You're gonna make noise. Like, what the fuck? But again, David,
use your ride. You got
again.
Use your ride. Use that ride. Use that car.
Chat. What is he? Chat. What is he? My fucking ride home.
This is why you always follow somebody home. You never get in their car ever. Stranger danger, motherfucker. It comes in many forms. This time, right down your throat. You got what you would fucking deserve.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I came in, just trying to finish, and he's like, "No, you can't do that here." And I'm like, "What do you mean?
You just did it in my mouth."
Yeah, but again, can't say that. Right home. And so I went.
You just drive by Bukkake my fucking throat hole, bro. Like, you didn't even give me a warning. I didn't even get a courtesy. Like, 3, 2, 1, come, nothing. Dropping loads, you said nothing.
Very dark. Very dark. Didn't even fucking, like, didn't stand a chance.
It's like you took a boat from Helen Keller. Jesus Christ, you had to be deaf, dumb, and blind? What the fuck?
I put my pants on. And I didn't take off my shirt. Neither of us did. because we're in a tent in his family's fucking backyard. But again, and so we fucking we sit in that 1997 Ford Fiesta, and we drive
Back in the Ford Fiesta. Oh.
back in the Ford Fiesta, and let me tell you, the ride back was no Fiesta. It was awkward as fuck.
That car did not live up to its name on that ride. Let me tell you.
No, it was awkward as fuck. And the conversation started with, "Did you have fun?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." Can we do this again? Sure. Like, it's a big dick, isn't it?
Too late for me to swipe right, or
I was like, mm-hmm. And then I was like, was it big though? I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, and he just drove me home. And that night I couldn't even bring myself to jerk off because of all the disappointment.
No, your cock had to get in fucking PTSD after that. Like your dick needs therapy. My need therapy. We all need therapy. Thank you very much, Tobes, because not only did you tell the funniest fucking story maybe in the history of this fucking show, and that's saying something because we are ridiculous here. But not only did you do that, but you have just made sure that everybody in this chat is going to pump some economic fucking recovery to their local therapists because holy fuck, why did you traumatize us all in such a way? That is absolutely
I don't know.
Amazing.
Well, I'll tell you why. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride Day. And if that's not the way to end the show, I don't know what the fuck is. Stick around, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break. That was Tobes. This is why you come around for these shows, man. You don't miss any of these motherfuckers. This will be on YouTube, and it will be immediately demonetized. Can't wait for that. Have fun doing this one, Midnight Gaming. And if there's not some fucking bow chicka bow wow music throughout that entire story, you're fucking fired, even though I don't pay you. Thank you very much for everybody who's been here for the talk show. We're going to switch over to the gaming, so stick around, listen to some music, and make sure you go ahead and do what this little ad tells you and get your art from the Snap Lord. See you later. Be back 5 minutes. Tobes, thank you so much. Fantastic job.
No problem, man. See you guys.